For 30 years, while I worked in the newspaper business, I covered the mariachis as a writer, later as a videographer and as a photographer. So what drives me to make this film is I saw something happen. I saw a change that I never would have guessed. And it was subtle. It happened year to year. But I kept noticing that there were, when I would go to graduations, there would be more and more of the kids that I saw in the mariachis graduating from high school. And when I would go to the university campus, the U of A, or to Pima College or ASU in Phoenix, I would run into kids that had been in the mariachi programs. And I knew how they got there. I knew that they got there because the mariachis had kept them in school, had gotten them interested in their education, had told them that they had a future. And they were acting on that future. And also, in many cases, gave them the money to go to college, which no one in their family had ever had before. And so we have this whole new generation of college-educated kids because of the mariachi movement, because that happened. And then in the city of Tucson, it changed attitudes so much to see this proliferation of mariachis everywhere. The music was infectious. The kids were warm and they were happy to talk to people after the shows. And what it taught these young people is teamwork and self-reliance and the ability to stand up in front of a group of people that you don't know and express yourself. Those are the kinds of leadership skills that all of us need as Americans. That's what the mariachi did. One of the biggest steps was Tucson and Linda Ronstadt put out her albums, the Canciones de mi Padre and Más Canciones albums. And those just boosted the popularity of mariachi through the roof. So you had this confluence of the Tucson International Mariachi Conference, which is the longest continuously active mariachi conference in the world, where Linda Ronstadt got the opportunity to meet with the mariachis that she would use on her record and had the opportunity to go and perform and check this stuff out because her record label was telling her this is never going to work. And then, you know, that translates into, because of the great popularity of the Mariachi Conference, all of a sudden every school, or many, many more schools, start putting mariachi programs in. And those mariachi programs yield, you know, kids staying in school, kids going on to college. The world changes. It's a fantastic story. It's a story that needs to be told. And I cannot do it without you. Why is it so important to do it now? Well, for a lot of reasons. The people who were there at the beginning of this movement are pretty old by this point. And I'm not any younger myself. I will be 60 years old in the middle of this Kickstarter campaign. And so it's important for me to get this done while I can still get it done. It's important for me to talk to parents and to the kids who were part of the original mariachis and to people in the community who remember the beginnings and who made this happen, as well as the current generation and all generations in between that made this phenomenon happen. I need your help. I need financial help to get this going. This will help me leverage other things. This will give me the time to do these interviews. In the 30 years that I worked as a music writer, I also was shooting video for the last 10 years and shooting pictures as well. And so it's going to take months just to go through that. The Mariachi Cobre has given me the VHS tapes of their very beginnings for me to digitize and use in this film. So all of this is going to take time, and that's what I'm asking for, is the money to get started on this thing, to get the other grants going, to make this thing start rolling so that we can tell this story that is a unique Tucson story and yet is a story that it spreads from Tucson to the rest of the United States and to the rest of the world. And I'm not just asking you to do this out of the kindness of your heart. We have rewards set up in this thing. At some levels, you get your name in the credits of the film. We'll have at some levels, tickets for next year's Mariachi Espectacular concert and the opportunity to meet the performers who are going to be headlining there and to go and see their rehearsal and so forth. You can come with me to go and interview people, all sorts of opportunities. And at the end of the project, the transcripts, the photos, the film, everything goes to the Arizona Historical Society so that it gets shared with other people in the town. And hopefully this sparks interest in other communities to do this kind of investigation and find out what happened in their communities. I can't thank you enough for listening to me, for helping with this. Please help at whatever level you can. $1 is good, $5 is good, $25, whatever you can afford to give. I will make sure that somehow or other this becomes something that you're proud of and that you feel like you spent your money well.